Have you ever felt that invisible wall? The one that pops up right when you want to say something, do something, or just be yourself. It's like your own personal force field of fear, keeping you locked inside your head. I know that feeling all too well. For years, that wall was my constant companion. My name is Alex, and for the longest time, my world was about 4 feet wide, just big enough for me and my anxiety. Going to a party felt like preparing for battle. My heart would pound, my palms would sweat, and my mind would race with a million worst-case scenarios. What if I say something stupid? What if they think I'm weird? What if I just stand there, alone, like a forgotten coat on a rack? More often than not, that's exactly what happened. I'd find the quietest corner, glue my eyes to my phone, and pretend to be incredibly busy until it was socially acceptable to leave. I was a ghost at my own life's party. This fear wasn't just about social events. It bled into everything. In class, I knew the answers, but the thought of raising my hand sent a jolt of panic through me. My voice would get trapped in my throat, choked by the fear of judgment. Ordering coffee was an ordeal. I'd rehearse my order, medium latte, please, over and over in my head. But when I got to the counter, I'd sometimes just mumble and point. It was exhausting, living in a constant state of what if. I watched my friends laugh, connect, and build relationships with an ease that seemed magical to me. They were living in full color, while my world felt grayscale. I wanted that. I desperately wanted to break free, but my fear was a master illusionist. It convinced me that safety was in the shadows, that invisibility was my best defense. The loneliness that came with it was a heavy price to pay, a quiet ache that was always there. The turning point wasn't a grand cinematic moment. It was a small, quiet one. I was watching a video of a mountain climber, and he said something that stuck with me. You don't conquer the mountain, you conquer yourself. It hit me like a ton of bricks. My fear wasn't an external monster. It was a part of me. And if it was a part of me, I had the power to understand it, to work with it, and maybe, just maybe, to overcome it. So I started small, ridiculously small. My first mission was to make eye contact with the barista and say thank you clearly. My heart was still pounding, but I did it. The world didn't end. The barista smiled back. It was a tiny victory, but it felt like I'd just summited Everest. That small spark of success was the fuel I needed. My next step was what I called the 5-second rule. If I wanted to say something in a group, I had to do it within 5 seconds, before my brain could build that wall of fear. The first few times were terrifying. I'd blurt out something, my voice would crack, and I'd turn bright red. But then something amazing happened. People responded. They'd listen, they'd laugh, they'd agree. My contributions weren't world-changing, but they were mine. I was no longer invisible. I started to see fear differently. It wasn't a stop sign anymore. It was a compass. The thing that scared me the most was often the very thing I needed to do to grow. So I started leaning into it. I joined a public speaking club. My first speech was a disaster. I read from my notes, my hands shook, and my voice was barely a whisper. But I didn't quit. I went back the next week, and the week after that. Slowly, the shaking lessened. My voice got stronger. I started looking up from my notes and connecting with the audience. I learned that they weren't there to judge me. They were there to listen. This journey wasn't a straight line. There were days when the old anxiety would creep back in, whispering its familiar lies. Days I wanted to retreat back into my comfortable shell. But the difference was, I now had proof that I could push through it. I had a collection of small victories that reminded me of my own strength. I learned to be kind to myself on those off days, to acknowledge the fear without letting it take the driver's seat. Confidence isn't about the absence of fear. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's the quiet belief that you can handle whatever comes next. It's built brick by brick with every small act of courage. It's looking the barista in the eye. It's raising your hand in class. It's speaking up in a group, even when your voice shakes. Today, my world is so much bigger than 4 feet. I still get nervous sometimes, we all do. But fear is no longer my jailer. It's just a passenger. And I'm the one who's driving. I go to parties now not to hide, but to connect. I share my ideas, I tell my stories, and most importantly, I listen to others. I've discovered that the most beautiful things in life exist on the other side of that invisible wall. If you're standing behind your own wall right now, please know that you have the strength to take it down, one brick at a time. Start small. Celebrate every tiny victory. Be patient and compassionate with yourself. Your voice deserves to be heard, and your story deserves to be told. The world is waiting to meet the real you. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing. Your journey to confidence starts now. Let's do this.